Hi, Dr. Yoshi Ram here with Oasis Family Medicine, and today's video blog is on omegas and fish. Why are omegas important? Because they mitigate inflammation and they lower triglycerides, which are really just typically a product breakdown of carbohydrates and sugar. So no surprise how omegas can be so beneficial to us, right? How do we get omegas? What's the best way? Fish and algae are actually great ways of getting omegas and significant amounts of omega-3s into our diet specifically. They come from other things like spinach, mustard greens, flax oils. I'm not a big fan of flax though, for a few reasons that I won't even get into in this blog, but I'm absolutely not a fan of flax or flax oils. I'd much rather you be getting your significant amounts of omega-3s from fish themselves and or a really high quality fish oil or algae, which algae can be bought in capsules at most health food stores or online. Now, I do want to, one thing I should say is that how do you know if you even need omegas? The only way to really know is to get tested. Taking too much omegas, i.e. too many algae capsules or fish oil capsules, can absolutely be detrimental to your health. They can cause issues I'm not going to get into right now, but the only way to really know if your levels is to get a blood test for an omega index level. It is a blood test. And I want to get into just a few of the best, so sorry while I read these, but I printed them out, some of the best fish with the highest omega-3 content. And again, omega-3 versus omega-6, both are really important. Typically, omega-3 gets all the publicity as the anti-inflammatory, while omega-6 gets all the pro-inflammatory. You need both. You absolutely need both. If you cut yourself, you want a very healthy and robust local inflammatory response. That's an example. But for omega-3 sources, because those are low in most of us at this day and age, mackerel has actually 2.6 grams. That's the equivalent of something probably on the order of, depends on the supplement brand, but probably 4 to 8 capsules of fish oil every day. So one serving of mackerel, the fish, 2.6 grams of omega-3 fatty acids. That's amazing. Lake trout, 2.0 grams. Herring, 1.7 grams. Fresh salmon, 1.5 grams. Sardines, canned sardines, 1.5 grams. Again, this is typically, oftentimes, what I would recommend for a person in a day is 1 to 2 grams, again, depending on your blood test level, right? Anchovies are 1.4 grams. Those are some of the best ones. And then the other issue is mercury, right? Fish are high in mercury levels. And how do we know? There's definitely this balancing act. So, first of all, some of us excrete mercury very well. For those fortunate individuals, and that's more of a genetic situation, for those lucky individuals, eating fish that are higher in mercury is not nearly as big of a health consequence because you just get rid of it. Other people do not get rid of mercury as easily or are already super toxic. There's various ways of testing mercury. Probably the best test that I know to date is through Quicksilver Scientific Laboratories. They actually test your hair, urine, and blood, and in that way they're able to check if you have what source, where the mercury is actually coming from, right? Because, and also how easily are you actually getting rid of it, because that's the other part of the story, right? If I'm high from mercury level just because I ate, I don't know, tons of shark 3 days ago and my mercury test comes back high, is that a true high level? Well, it could become an issue if I don't excrete that mercury very easily. But if I excrete it very easily, then that's not nearly as big of an issue, right? And maybe some of the omega-3, the high content of omega-3 that I'm intaking in some of that fish actually is totally worth it, right? The other issue is there's a lot of concern about mercury in fish. Most fish, you actually get enough other antioxidants and selenium. Selenium's great at detoxifying mercury. Usually when you're taking in fish, a lot of people are taking in plenty of other nutrients to help us detoxify, right? Because that's the best way of detoxification, is actually through just good quality, high quality nutrients. So you can read about this on the blog also, but just some so anchovies and herring and mackerel were all really high in omega-3s. Anchovies and herring are really low in mercury. Mackerel, typically pretty high in mercury. Salmon was really good also in omegas. Fresh wild salmon, especially if it's from the Pacific, is actually typically pretty low in mercury. If it's Atlantic salmon, not so good. And then swordfish and shark, I don't think were very high in omegas, but they're horrible when it comes to mercury. So I would categorically avoid those. Interestingly, you can go pick a can up of, I think Trader Joe's has mackerel, again, maybe a little bit higher in mercury, but sardines and anchovies, wonderful sources. Dr. Yoshiram with Oasis Family Medicine. I know this was a little bit longer, but hopefully you get some good information out of it. Thank you, and see you next time.